Hello everybody. So today let us discuss about coarse dispersions. In this video we shall study suspension as a coarse dispersion, what are its applications, what are the desirable properties or characteristics for a pharmaceutical suspension, and the important interfacial properties of suspended particles. So let us begin. So pharmaceutical suspensions are a coarse dispersion and it is composed of insoluble solid particles which make up the dispersed phase and liquid medium which is the dispersion medium. Now the liquid vehicle is usually aqueous and the solid particles have a diameter greater than 1 micrometer. Now particles in this vehicle, that is the dispersion medium, exhibit Brownion's motion when the viscosity of the liquid medium is low. Only then will it exhibit Brownion's motion. So let us now look at the applications of a pharmaceutical suspension. An aqueous suspension becomes a very useful formulation for administering insoluble or poorly insoluble drugs. Now these are drug particles dispersed in a dispersion medium. Now they are in a constant random motion, that is Brownian motion. Now these dispersed drugs possess an overall large surface area. Thus this ensures a high availability of drug for dissolution and hence a better absorption. So the bioavailability of such formulation also increases. Now, aqueous suspensions are used for parenteral formulations, for ophthalmic formulations, and also for topical formulations. But in these two formulations, you should see to it that the suspended particles do not irritate the surface of the eye or the skin. Suspensions are also used for veterinary products and they are also used for pest control. As a formulator, it is very important to know certain desirable qualities of an acceptable pharmaceutical suspension. So let us discuss them one by one. The suspended particles should not settle rapidly. If at all the particles settle, it should be readily redispersed into a uniform mixture when the container is shaken. That is, the particles which settle must not form a hard cake. This is highly undesirable. Also, the suspension must not be too viscous. It should be just optimum. Otherwise, it would be difficult for the suspension to flow freely from the opening of the bottle when poured or to flow from the syringe of the needle. That is for a parenteral suspension. Now, it should have an acceptable color and odor. These properties become important for topical and oral suspensions. So let us now discuss the interfacial properties of a suspended particle. So to make a suspension, larger particles of a solid needs to be broken down into smaller ones. So now these are further broken down into smaller particles and this is further broken down into again smaller particles. That is, from this particle to this particle, the overall surface area is increasing. Also, here in order to reduce the particle size, work must be done. So we can imply that the comminution increases the overall surface area of the particle and thus increases the surface energy associated with it. These particles are then dispersed into a vehicle. So work is also required to disperse these particles in a dispersion medium. Now this excess surface free energy which the particle has makes the system thermodynamically unstable. In other words, we can say that the particles are highly energetic. Also, they are in random Brownian motion and they collide with each other, right? So they will tend to regroup in a way so as to decrease the total area and the corresponding surface free energy. Now this happens by a process of agglomeration. It can either be like this or this. These are the two possible agglomerates which can be formed in order to reduce the surface area. These are the two types of agglomeration. This is called flocculation, in which you have porous type of sediment, and this is called as an aggregation, where you have tightly bound molecules. Now the forces at the surface of the individual particles govern the degree of flocculation or aggregation. Now these are called as floc or floccules. They are nothing but light and fluffy conglomerates and are held together by weak van der Waals forces. Now aggregates are formed in aggregation. So in aggregation, the particles adhere by stronger forces, stronger than the van der Waals forces. Now caking may occur due to the formation of bridges between these particles, resulting from either crystal growth and hydration effects. So this is called as a cake or a clay. Please note that the forces greater than the normal agitation is required to redisperse such sediment. Hence, it is difficult to redisperse a cake formed. So we understand that agglomeration is a result of the system trying to attain thermodynamic stability. Now this is given by this mathematical equation right here, where delta G equals to gamma SL times delta A, where delta G is nothing but increase in surface free energy, delta A is increase in the total surface area, and gamma SL is the interfacial tension between the liquid medium and the solid particles dispersed therein. So, an increase in work or surface free energy delta G is brought when a solid is divided into smaller particles. Thus, there is a consequent increase in the total surface area given by delta A. Therefore, to approach a stable state, the system will tend to reduce the surface free energy. Please note that equilibrium is reached when delta G is equal to 0. Delta G equals to 0 can be achieved by two ways. Either by reducing the interfacial tension, that is gamma SL, or by decreasing the area, that is delta A. Now, interfacial tension can be reduced by addition of a surfactant, but it can never be made 0. Now, if a system tends to decrease its interfacial area, as we discussed earlier, that causes flocculation or aggregation. It is a process by which the system tends to decrease its surface area in order to achieve thermodynamic stability. So please remember this. So this was a gist about suspensions as a coarse dispersion. I hope you all understood these concepts. Thank you.